the educators among you, the mentors, supervisors, teachers, think about examples of how you influence the creative output of your students. I will talk about creativity and how it is transmitted across human relationships. So essentially the question is about how do people make each other more creative? It's a tantalizing question. I mean, just consider all the research that suggests that people are, supposedly making each other more creative. Research on peer effects, creative clusters, and so on. And yet, nobody was really able to directly quantify what the influence is or how does it look like. And this is the case because these creative ideas and creative output, or ideas more in general, are such elusive concepts. How can you measure this? The creation and the transmission of an idea. So what I do is I extract key attributes such as sequences of music notes, key signature, time signature from thousands of music compositions for hundreds of music composers. And this allows me then to uniquely and in a novel way capture the key attributes of a single composition, or if you want, of the body of work of a given composer. And then what I do, I calculate pairwise similarity coefficients. So how similar is my work to yours, to his, to hers, and so on. And then if one of these people was my teacher, the empirical question is, am I more similar to my teacher than to everybody else? And the results support this. The findings show that students are significantly more similar to their teachers than to other unconnected contemporaneous composers. This result holds for a number of robustness tests, for natural experiment settings, and so on. And then I conduct a couple of analyses, and I will talk only about two such explorations now. The first one is on the persistence. So how persistent is this influence? And I look at the influence, how it persists over generations of students. These influences can be observed into the second and even a little bit into the third generation of students. So essentially the students of my students, if I was a teacher, are more similar to me than to other contemporaneous composers. Quite a fascinating insight showing how this teacher's influence is immortal in some way, is persistent over a long time. The second exploration is on the consequences of this influence. So essentially, you could wonder whether an influence is a good thing. Does it mean that only good ideas are transmitted, or could bad ones persist as well? I mean, it's an important consideration. So what I do is I look at the intensity of imitation or intensity of influence, and I observe that students who imitate more a high-quality teacher are more likely to be high quality themselves later in life. However, those who imitate low-quality teachers, the bottom quality quartile teacher, they have lower chances of success later in their careers. A fascinating insight telling you how important it is to choose the right role model, to have the right teacher, and to imitate the right person. Now, these results bring along some implications for our understanding of the production of creative and intellectual output. It deals especially with the questions of where do ideas come from, why do certain ideas get produced as opposed to others, and by whom. And if you consider that creativity is the thing of the 21st century, everybody wants creativity, everybody needs it. I mean, think about firms who need creative workers, policymakers who want creative societies, citizens who want creative cities. I mean, the sheer importance of creativity, it supports, or it makes it clear that such research or more of such research is needed, and that economic history can perhaps make an important contribution in this area as well.